What's up, y'all? So today I'm back and I'm coming to y'all with a video about why I didn't go to college, do I regret it, and how's my life now. So I'm 21 and I graduated in 2022, and I could have went to college. I think I would have had to pay scholarship, but my grades were like decent through high school. Now senior year, I just stopped caring about grades because, like I told you, I don't know if I told you this before, but I had my spiritual awakening really young. If you don't know, a spiritual awakening is when you just start seeing life completely different. Like, I might gotta make a video about that because it's a really it's a really crazy thing. Like, it's almost like there's so many movies about it, but most of the movies are underground. But basically, I'm gonna just leave it at that and then get to the rest of the video. When you have a spiritual awakening, it's like you're living in one life, right? It's like you got a pair of, it's like you got on, it's almost like you have like you can't fully see. It's like you're living like this. And when you have a spiritual awakening, it's like, I don't know, man. It's like you just live in a whole nother world because, and it's just so deeper. Like, it really just makes you think deeper about life. Like, you just see things differently. Like, I was watching this movie earlier today called Coach Carter. And, I know y'all are like, that has nothing to do with spirituality, but like, it kind of does tie into each other, like, in a way. Um, you kind of just realize, like, this world, it's like everything is kind of programmed to disconnect us from ourselves. Like, you got to think about it. Like, people really litter. Like, most people in this life, in this world, just will die, and they like, I don't want to say do anything because like, that's one thing. Life really doesn't have no purpose, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to say most people, like, I don't know, most people will just die living, just, I don't know, like, most people are just zombies. Most people just walk around, just do the oh, just, I don't know, man. Most people just follow this way of living, and it's like, I don't know, it's just very disconnected. Like, I remember life before my spiritual awakening, I was very unhappy, but I didn't even know I was unhappy. I had a lot of struggles going on, but I didn't know. And it's like crazy too because if you're someone like most people who had, who grew up in like, just traumatic based households, right? Or just like effed up households, and you get older, and like, I swear, bro, like, I might gotta make a video about this, like my spiritual awakening, or like maybe I might turn this video into that. But it's like you just look up and you just be like, oh my gosh, like, my life is really fucked up. But not knowing that, like, it's really a energy, like, it's really energies that, like, make us attract the things that we attract. Like, I swear, I'm gonna have to make a video about that, or maybe talk about that video, like. But like, I swear, like, for my spiritual awakening, it's like my body would just be feeling messed up, like, because I was eating super unhealthy. I was always around toxic people. It was all, and it, you know what my thing was? It was always one bad situation to another. Like, I was just always going through it, you know. But it's deeper reasons for it. But anyway, yeah. So basically, all I'm gonna say is, like, when I turned 17 or 16, I just started to realize how pointless school was. Like, I realized, like, we not gonna use any of this stuff we learn in, like, outside of high school. We're not gonna, like, these grades are not gonna matter past this building. It might matter to your parents because Your parents, they want you to get good grades, but, like, other than that, you're not going to get more money. You're not going to get more opportunities. You're not going to get more anything because, that's only high school. And, there's people who, end up going to college, they say, or getting good grades, and they still end up like not being rich, or they end up struggling financially, or they might make it, but they didn't make it until like they didn't really start making good money until they were like in their late 30s, in their 40s, or they got to work like 3 or 4 jobs just to make that money. Like I think I know someone, I'm not going to say it, but it is a family member, and she went to college and she makes good money now, but she didn't move out till she was in her late 30s. And nothing's wrong with that, but it's just like if we're talking about like someone who went to college, who got the degrees, who put in the work, you know what I mean? And college is this thing where, college is the only way to success. And that person have moved out, like, you know what I mean? Like, shouldn't have that person have been in their career, moved out, like, when they was, you know what I mean? So, it just, after a while, when, like, I don't know, like, I just question things very deeply. Like, after a while, if you really just look around, you'd be like, it really don't make no sense. It really doesn't make any sense. It just, like, college low-key just seems like a way to just get you to spend more money and just keep you working a job. Because, hold on, let me finish my thought. But, yeah, so she didn't move out till she was in her late 30s. And now she does make great money. She has a nice house now, and I'll give it to her. But she says she works like 3 jobs. So, I don't know. It's like, why put in all those hours and put in all that time when I could just get a trade, start a business, or, find another job, find another way to make money, and, just figure it out. Another thing, reason why I didn't go to college too was, it's like, I don't know why. I don't know if like it just wasn't, if it was just meant to be. But it's like on my like YouTube timeline, because I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos my senior year because I didn't really have any friends. I wasn't outgrowing it, but I kind of just didn't feel like playing the game. So I was either watching movies or watching YouTube. And it's like on my YouTube timeline, all I was seeing was why I dropped out of college, or why I'm not going to college. Or I would see people who was like, yeah, I went to college, I did it. I think there's this one girl, her name was Trinity. She used to make a lot of YouTube videos, but I don't know what happened to her. But she said she had like a 4.0 or something. And just 2 years in, she just said, she just couldn't do anymore. She said she just didn't want to go to college. She said she just hated it. And there was this other guy named Jordan Green. I used to watch him a lot, but I just stopped. But he said that he went to college for 2 weeks. And after those 2 weeks, he said that he dropped out. He said he felt really depressed, and he felt annoyed, and he just didn't have the motivation for it. And I seen a lot of other videos. So when I seen that, I was like, I didn't even want to go to the college in the first place, But it's funny because around this time, like, it's almost like most of the people in my school, I think, that I graduated with, I think most of them went to college. But I think this one guy I know dropped out. And this one guy, I remember we used to talk about it too. He used to be in 10th grade. He would come in with an attitude. He used to be like, man, I can't wait till I graduate. He was like, oh God, I'm not going to college. He was like, oh God, I'm not going to college. Like, I remember he would just randomly say that, like, oh God, like after high school is it, that's it. Like he really used to just say that. So now me, I ain't gonna lie. When I was in high school, I used to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go to college. But I really don't even think I wanted to go to college, but my mom's a teacher, and then I had a grandfather. He was really like serious about education. So, you know, my thing was I was never like OC serious about education, but like, you know how parents are, like they like go get good grades, you gotta have good grades, like, I'm gonna take I never really got in trouble. Like at first, like, cause my thing was it was like my grades was good sometimes and they like wasn't good. But when middle school came around for some reason, like once seventh grade came, I don't know why, but just like I don't know, like it's just like something kicked in. Like I was just like, man, I'm like I want to like I just want to have fun. So I remember I would be skipping school. I never skipped. I didn't skip school, and I never really skipped school. I only really skipped school in like 12th grade, but even then that don't even count because that's like senior year. Like you can kind of really do whatever you want senior year. So that don't even count. Yeah, I never even really skipped school senior year, but senior year don't count. If you skip in school in senior year, that don't even count. But yeah, I would be skipping class with my friends, just running around the hallways, just having fun. I was like, you know what, F this good grade stuff. This is boring. Like, I want to have fun. So, yeah, so my grades dropped. At first, I got put on punishment for it, but once eighth grade came around, like as long as I had a 2.0, my parents was kind of happy. My parents didn't really trip about it too much, but I don't know, like just the way my mom and my aunt would talk about college, they no, sometimes my mom and aunt they would try to like have little talks with me and my grandma and grandfather, like they would have try to have interventions with me. They'd be like, you getting in trouble in school and we just want you to do better and stuff like that. So 10th grade year I did start getting better grades. And then 11th grade year I got better grades too, but I don't know, man. It's like a lot of work too. It just it's like a lot of work, but you don't like I remember I would just be stressing. Like that's the thing about school. It's like you just get like they just push a bunch of work on you and a lot of work on you, and it's like you only have a little bit of time to do it, and it's just like work on top of work pile from other classes. So I don't know. I really don't believe in the school system, but you know, hopefully, but I feel like our generation is going to be the generation that like really breaks the system or takes it less serious because I remember, and this might sound crazy, but there's this guy I listened to on YouTube, and he said that with his kids sometimes he'll let them come to school a little bit late to have his kids help him with his entrepreneurship stuff, but he said he does it so they can know like school isn't the end all be all, like school isn't that important. So it's really interesting because I remember, my parents, like when they found out I was late in high school, they'd be like, why are you this late? It was like, why? And I used to just make up some excuse, but basically like I said, but like the way my parents used to talk about college, they used to be like, yeah, it's good to go to college. Like, yeah, you need college. Like, you need college to be successful. That's the only way you're gonna be making any money, or you're gonna be working 2 to 3 jobs. And it was like if you just go to college, you just put in the work for 4 years, and you just get into that career, and you make good money for the rest of your life. So I was like, when I was 16, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna go to college. But once I started watching those YouTube videos, and I just seen, I think Sue Milani even made a video about it, saying, there's like so many ways to be successful. There's so many people making money out here. He was like, you don't even need college. And I just seen so many other people talk about it. So many other people talk about it. Then I seen this guy named Blaylock post about it. And, I just seen so many people being successful without college. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go to college. Um, but do I regret it? Because I'm 21 now and I could go to college, but I'm not because I don't really like school. The only thing, but the thing is though, the thing I would do is like work with kids, but teach you don't even make that much when you work at school. Like if I gotta pay $100,000 and I'm only getting paid like 40,000 a year, and on top of that, you're not even getting it all together though. Like you're not even gonna keep that money because you're going to be like you're going to be paying for your apartment, paying for your car, paying for food. You probably going to be spending like yeah, because I added it up. You're going to be spending like 3,500. So that's like, and if you make like 40,000 a year, that's like $4,000 a month. So if you're spending $3,600 a month on expenses, you only have like $400 left. So if you only have $400 saved up, say you put that all to student loans, it'll take you like years to pay off that debt. Like you probably won't pay that debt off until you like 60 or 70. And I think they say that it goes, I don't know how it works. So it just, it's just no point, And then they say like when you go up, they say you don't start making more money if you work in a school until you're like in your 30s and 40s. But at the same time, it's like I pull out all that money and struggle for 4 years, instead of it just doesn't make sense. So, but no, I don't regret going to college. But what am I gonna do now? I'm still figuring it out. But it's the age of social media. Like, who knows? Maybe in the next couple of years they might even find a way to replace teachers. Cause I don't know if y'all noticed, but you go into these places, these restaurants, and sometimes they don't even have like there's some places I don't know if y'all know, but there's this place called Honey Grow, and they don't even have like the cashiers and the waitresses and stuff. They don't even really have that anymore. Like they just have little kiosks, and they only have the cooks. And then what else? They got like Shake Shack. Shake Shack's another place. Some grocery stores they don't even, or some grocery stores they only have like one cashier, and then they just have like a bunch of self checkout. So who's to say that they won't have virtual school? So the teachers might not even. You know what I mean? So it's just stuff like that. But that's it for this video. I might do the spiritual awakening one. I don't know, but yeah.